All right. Lesson 11. Reciprocal and multiplicative inverse. So you guys, we have additive inverse, which is like a positive number and a negative number that add to 0. And then we have multiplicative inverse, which is actually the reciprocal when they add or when they multiply to 1. Okay. Order of operations, little PEMDAS, and identifying multiplication and addition, like making sure you know which one to do. So first, let's just practice what is the reciprocal of 2/3, everyone? That is correct. You're just going to be like, that is 3/2. Okay, you just flip the fraction. And what would you get when you multiplied those together, you guys? 1. That's why they're multiplicative inverses. Okay. And what's the reciprocal of -4/11? Exactly, -11/4. You just flip it. The negative can go on the top or the middle. And what would you get if you multiplied these together? +1. Exactly. Okay. Great job. All right. What's the reciprocal of 1/4? 4. And if you multiplied these together, what would you get? Great job. What's the reciprocal of -1/5? Great job. -5. Okay. And if you multiplied them, you would get 1. So again, I'm just flipping. All right, what about this one? So you want to think of this as -5/1. It's a whole number. So if you flip it, everyone, what do you get? Yes, -1/5, okay? And this one, same thing, you want to think of it as over 1. So if you flip it, what do you get? 1/4. Great job. Okay, this one is 0. You can think of it as 0/1. So if you flip it, what do you get? Great job. Undefined. All right, if you flip it, then 0's in the denominator. We have a problemo. All right, it is undefined. Yes.
Do you still want to write undefined?
Yes. Okay, so the additive inverse is also called the opposite, right? Like +3, -3. Okay, and when we add them together, they must equal 0. All right. And we just learned now multiplicative inverse, also called reciprocal. All right. And when we multiply those together, you get 1. All right. So additive inverse are opposites, and they add to 0. Multiplicative inverses are reciprocals, and they multiply to 1. Okay. All right, order of operations. So we'll start with a reminder of PEMDAS. What does the P stand for? Yes, this stands for parentheses. All right. What does the E stand for? Good job. Exponents. Okay, so first do parentheses, then do exponents, if there are any, right? What's the M? Multiplication. What's the D? Okay, what's the A? And subtraction. Now, technically, the multiplication and division are on the same level. You go left to right, okay? You don't have to do multiplication before division. You actually just go left to right. They're like samesies. And same then with addition and subtraction. They're on the same level. You go left to right, okay? So this one doesn't have any parentheses like where there's operations inside. It just has these which are just meaning multiply. So there's not parentheses like where you have to do the operation first, okay? There's also no exponents. So then the main thing you have to know, what are we going to do last in this problem? Subtract. That has to go last, all right? So we can start with 6 times 3, which is 18. And then you can multiply these all together. So everyone, what's 4 times 5? 20. And what's 20 times 6? Good job. 120. Now I'm going to do 18 minus 120. So even if you do 120 minus 18, that'd be 102. And then the -1 is bigger. So it's -102. All right. Okay, here's some more PEMDAS. There's really not parentheses in this problem, like where you have to do operations inside of them first, okay? That parentheses just means multiply. So the things that are going to go last are addition, okay? Those have to go last. So let's do 3 times 5 first, which is 15. Then we do plus 2. And then you guys make sure you know that this means multiply, right? I've got parentheses, they're back to back, and that multiplies to be -8. Now you can add left to right, or you can do the whole add your positives, add your negatives, right? However you want to add those. So I'm going to make this 17 minus 8, which is 9. Okay? All right. Again, there's no parentheses, there's no exponents, so just make sure you do your multiplication division first and your addition and subtraction last. Yes?
What if we use credit salt if we were taught that?
Yeah, you can use that. Okay, 2 times 4 is 8, minus 3 times 2 is 6, minus 7, plus, and then we do 5 times 2 is 10. All right? I like to then add all my positives together to make 18, add my negatives together, which is -13, and subtract. Okay? Identifying multiplication and addition. So just really make sure that you don't do that as like a -5, right? That is a 4 times -5 right there. Okay, so just those back-to-back parentheses. I feel like we just did these, okay? Again, the subtraction comes last. So I'm going to rewrite the 13. These guys multiply together to make what?
20.
Good, +20. And these multiply together to make what? Great job. Okay, I like to add my positives together first. That's 33 minus 30, which gives me 3. All right. All right, let's try some whiteboards and see how it goes.